So Namaste. So myself Anil here, and I will be taking here agriculture optional for both civil service and Indian Forest Service here. So in the today's lecture, so basically we are going to discuss the synopsis of the both paper 1 and the paper 2 in the agriculture optionals here. So basically in the agriculture optional we are having the two papers. One is the paper 1, another is the paper 2. So in the generally, so we said there are the two papers we have. So one is the paper 1. So in the paper 1 we are having totally the 250 marks we have. We are having the 250 marks. Another is the 3-hour durations we have, right? In the UPSC, the basically in the paper 1. So we are having the syllabus we called as one is the ecology and environment. Ecology and environment. Another we are having the syllabus we called as agroforestry. Agroforestry. Then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as dryland agriculture. Dryland agriculture. Then we are having the syllabus we have weed management. So weed management. Then we are having the syllabus we are called as irrigation in the paper 1. Irrigation. Another is the farm management. The farm management. Then we are having the syllabus we called as agriculture marketing. Agriculture marketing. Then we are having the syllabus we called as agriculture extension. Agriculture extension. Then soil science and technology. So soil science and technology. So soil science and technology. Then we are having the syllabus we called as emerging concepts in agriculture. Emerging concepts in the agriculture. Emerging concepts in the agriculture. See, emerging concepts mean whatever the topics we have in the current newspaper, whatever the topics we have in the current newspaper, like we're having some topics like contract farming, conservation tillage, zero tillage, then we're having the hydroponics techniques, aeroponics, then we're having the vertical farming, then we're having the bonsai culture. So these are the various topics we used to discuss in the case of the emerging concepts in the agriculture. So every year minimum 3 to 4 questions always can be possible in the case of the emerging concepts in the agriculture. This means it is a more of the current affairs, right? Whatever the news we have in the agriculture related. So according to that, minimum 3 or maximum 4 questions we can expect in the case of the emerging concepts in the agriculture. Then we're having the syllabus we called as the package of the practices. Package of the practices for the major agronomic crops. For the major agronomic crops. For the major agronomic crops here. See, so in the UPSC, in the paper 1, right? So totally we are having the 250 marks and for the 3-hour durations in the UPSC official syllabus, right? So these are the basic anatomy, nature of the anatomy we have in the with respect to the syllabus here. One is the we are having the ecology and environment. So in the ecology and environment, we are having the two things. One is the static part of the ecology, another is the dynamic part of the ecology. There we are having the syllabus we called as biodiversity and conservation of the biodiversity, and various type of the pollution we called as air pollution, soil pollution, thermal pollution, agro pollution, like that. Then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as climate change. So in order to mitigate the climate change, we are having the some are the global conventions, some are the national conventions for the mitigation of the climate change. Especially we are having the COP21, Conference of the Parties 21, with respect in the Paris Agreement. So the main goal of the Paris Agreement is to withhold the increasing temperature, well below the 2 degree centigrade with the help of the climate resilient practices. Then apart from that, we are having the global warming, because at presently there is a emission of the gases from the different point as well as from the non-point sources into the lower layer of the atmosphere. It leads to the warming temperature both at the land as well as at the ocean level can be possible. That warming temperature can be called as global warming. Then we're having the syllabus we called as agriculture inputs and their role in the contamination of the soil particles. Then we're having the carbon sequestration. Then we're having the El Nino mechanism and its impact on the Indian agriculture. See, and apart from that, we're having the some syllabus we called as role of the remote sensing in the ecosystem analysis. So these are the basic syllabus we have in the case of the ecology and environment. Again, here also we can expect minimum 2 or 3 questions we can expect either from the static part or from the dynamic part here, right? So one, and then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as agroforestry. So in agroforestry is one of the component of the social forestry. So one of the component of the social forestry. In that, there is a plantation of the tree species. Plantation of the tree species in the community land is going to take place. That we call it as social forestry. Within the social forestry, agroforestry is one of the component. You have to remember it. So, in the agroforestry, at the same time, the farmer is cultivating the crop along with the tree species. Along with the tree species is called as agroforestry, which it is, right? So in order to promote the agroforestry, so when there is agroforestry in the given region, there is a crop diversification can be possible. When there is a diversification, increased supply of the produce in the APMC can be possible. So that ultimately we can able to achieve the food security of the country. It is okay. Then within the agroforestry, there is a word we called as the value addition, right? So as much as possible, we are making the value addition in the forest products. Forest products matlab some are the major products, some are the minor forest products can be possible. So in order to promote the value addition in the forest products, we are having the cooperative society in the name of the TRIPID organization. In the name of the TRIPID organization. So again, based on the BAWA committee, in the 1987, the government of India established the TRIPID cooperative society to make the to give the support for the value addition in the case of the tribal farming, right? Then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as the dryland agriculture. So in the dryland agriculture, basically, right, based on the received rainfall, we are having the three types of the farming. One is the dry farming, another is the dryland farming, another is the rain-fed agriculture. So especially in India, we are having some arid and semi-arid regions here. Especially we are having the Bundelkhand region, another is the Deccan Plateau. In this region, the received rainfall, right? Received rainfall is always less than 750 mm of the rainfall, right? Received rainfall in the Bundelkhand as well as in the Deccan Plateau, the received rainfall is always less than 750 mm of the rainfall. Those regions can be called as the dryland farming here. So there we will be discussing the integrated watershed management, then some kind of the agronomic practices to conserve the soil and moisture in the dryland area. So these are the basic syllabus we have in the case of the dryland agriculture. Then apart from that, we're having the syllabus we called as the weed management. So weeds means they are the unwanted plant. They are the unwanted plants. So weeds, sometimes it can be perennial plants, sometimes it can be the parasitic plants can be possible. So in order to keep the population of the weed, well below the economic threshold level, because our basic objective in the case of the integrated weed management is to keep the population of the weed well below the economic threshold level with the help of the various kind of the management practices. Management practices, we say one is the cultural method, another is the physical method, another is the biological method, right? So with the help of this method, right, collectively we're keeping the density of the weeds well below the economic threshold level. So when the population is well below the economic threshold level, then minimal damages and the agriculture crops can be possible. That is the one fundamental goal we have in the case of the integrated the weed management. Then apart from that, in the weed management, we're having the syllabus we called as allelopathic effect, then we're having the herbigation technique, then we're having the herbicide chapter. Herbicide matlab, they're the kind of the chemical, toxic chemical, which are widely used for eradication of the unwanted vegetation, in the given area. Within the herbicide, some are the narrow-based chemicals, some are the broad-based chemicals, some are the pre-planting, some are the post-emergence herbicide. There the different form of the herbicide can be possibilities. Then we're having the syllabus we called as irrigation in the paper one. So irrigation, it means it is a more of the artificial application of the irrigation water. Directly into the root zone of the crop plant to promote the plant growth and development is called as irrigation. So irrigation can be applied either by the means of the surface method or by the means of the subsurface method. So there are the different methods of the irrigation sphere. So according to that, we are having the syllabus we called as scheduling of the irrigation. So scheduling of the irrigation can take place based on the critical stage approach, based on the soil criteria, based on the plant factors, based on the climatological approach. So there are the different criteria we have for scheduling the irrigation. So that schedule in the irrigation may vary from the one crop to the another crop, or even may vary from the one region into the another region. It is. Then apart from that, we're having the syllabus we called as waterlogging condition. Waterlogging condition matlab, whenever you're having the flooded water for the much of the time in the given area, over the period there is impact on the soil as well as in the plant ecosystem can be possible. According to that, we have developed some kind of agronomic measures to minimize the waterlogging conditions in the agriculture. Then we're having the syllabus we called as irrigation projects. Irrigation projects matlab, based on the cultural command area, right? we're having three type of the irrigation projects. Some are the major irrigation projects, some are the medium irrigation projects, some are the minor irrigation project. Within the irrigation projects, some are the interstate irrigation projects, some are the multi-state or multi-purpose irrigation projects can be possibilities. Then we're having the syllabus. Apart from the irrigation, we're having the farm management. See, the major agenda of the farm management is to minimize the cost and maximize the profit, right? Minimization of the cost and maximization of the profit is the major goal of the farm management. There we are using the different tools we call as farm planning, farm budgeting, right? And other various principles of the agriculture economics. Various methods are collectively used to minimize the cost and maximize the profit in the case of the farm management. Then apart from that, we're having the syllabus we called as agriculture marketing. See, especially in India, the different type of the marketing can be possible. Sometimes it can be wholesale marketing, sometimes it can be retail marketing, sometimes it can be local market, sometimes it can be national or international market, sometimes it can be cash market, sometimes it can be the future or forward market can be possible. So based on so based on the different criteria, there the different type of the market can be possible in the given society. Hope you remember we are having some based on the market structure, or competition. We are having the some of the monopoly market, some of the duopoly market, some of the oligopoly or perfect competitive market can be agriculture price policies. There we are having the discussions on the MSP. MSP matlab the minimum support price. Another is the buffer stock. Another is the buffer stock in the food management. Another is the FAR, the fair and remunerative price for the sugarcane. So that is also one of the minimum support price in the name of the FAR for the sugarcane it is. So in the MSP at presently, right? Right. So there we are having the organizations we called as CACP organization, Commission on the Agriculture Cost and the Prices. They recommend the MSP to the Union Cabinet. Union Cabinet is finally is going to fix the MSP for the major notified crops. So presently the government of India is giving the MSP for the 23 notified crops. So 23 notified crops, it comprises both Kharif and Rabi season crops here. So presently the government of India is following with the A2 plus FL method. Following the A2 plus FL method, based on this method, we are fixing the MSP for the given crop. A2 matlab all the input cost plus FL matlab economic value of the farm labor. So there are the different methods who are given by the expert, like some are the C2 method, some are the A2 method, some are the A2 plus FL method. But at present, government of India is going with the A2 plus FL method. Based on this, we are fixing the MSP for the 23 notified crops. But Swaminathan committee, they recommended to the government that C2 method. So that is the competitive cost method. So but the government of India presently they are going with the A2 plus FL method due to some issues again here. Okay, there are the different methods for fixing the MSP in for the notified crops here. See, apart from that, in the agriculture marketing, we'll be discussing the grading function, the function, warehouse function, transportation function, distribution function in the given supply chain. In the given supply chain, in taking the produce from the one place into the another place it is. Then, apart from that, we're having the syllabus we called as agriculture extension. See, the basic objective in the extension is to go for the dissemination of the technology from the lab to the land. It is from the lab to the land. So in order to take the kind of the awareness, in order to take the technology dissemination from the one point to the another point, extension workers are using the different kind of the teaching methods. Extension workers are using the different kind of the teaching methods, like we're having some are the result demonstration, some are the method demonstration, some are the training and visit system, some are the campaigns, some are the workshops, some are the seminars, like that. There are the different kind of the teaching methods are used by the extension worker to transfer the technology from the lab to the land it is, right? Then apart from that, the extension, we're having the syllabus we called as Krishi Vignana Kendra and Atma, NGO, self-help group approach for the rural development. Because in the extension also, whatever the extension programs we have before the independence and after the independence, till the MNREGA, all the programs are collectively meant for the development of the rural society. One. Then we're having the syllabus we called as soil science and technology. In the soil science and technology, we'll be discussing the basic properties of the soil. Within the properties, some are the physical properties of the soil, some are the chemical properties of the soil, some are the biological properties of the soil can be possible. The physical properties, basically we're having the soil structure, soil texture, bulk density, water holding capacity, particle density. Another is the porosity. So these are the basic criteria we have in the case of the physical properties of the soil. And in the case of the chemical properties, we are having the one is the pH of the soil. One is the pH of the soil. Another is the nutrient status of the soil. Another is the soil color. Another is the soil color. Another is the biological properties. Apart from that, in the soil science, we'll be discussing the role of the soil fertility and soil productivity, then how the soil is forming according to the Dakuche. So there are the two factors. One is active factors, another is the passive factors. Both the factors are collectively responsible for the formation of the soil in the given area can be possible. Then apart from that, we are having the role of the organic matter in the fertility management. Then we are having the different type of the fertilizers. Matlab we are having the some are the nitrogen based, some are the phosphorus based, some are the potassium based fertilizers here. Then apart from that, we are having the some advancement in the fertilizer industry. We call it as one is the nano urea, another is the neem coated urea. So among these two topics, one question always can be possible every year. It is one is the nano urea, another is the neem coated urea. We are having that is the one significance we have in the case of the advancement of the fertilizer in the agriculture. It is. Then we are having the syllabus we called as problematic soil. Right, so problematic matlab based on the soil pH. We are having the some are the acidic soil, some are the alkaline, some are the saline, some are the sodic soil can be possible. So in the given in the given soil, doing the agriculture practices is quite difficult. That is the reason we are using the different kind of the reclamation measures. We are using the different kind of the reclamation measures we called as one is application of the lime and gypsum to make the neutral pH, in the given soil. According to that, crop cultivation can be possible. Then apart from that, we said emerging concepts in the agriculture. Emerging concepts matlab whatever the issues we have in the today's newspaper. We said some are the conservation tillage, zero tillage, vertical farming, polyhouse cultivation, high-tech farming, right? So these are drone technology in the agriculture, nanotechnology in the agriculture, role of the nuclear science in the agriculture. So these are the emerging issues. Topics will be taken in the classes. So in this topic, every year minimum 3 to 4 questions always can be possible. You have to remember. So we can expect the very good number of the questions in the case of the emerging concepts in the agriculture. Then finally in the paper 1, we are having the package of the practices for the agronomy crops here, right? So this are so in the UPSC syllabus, especially in the paper 1, so totally we are having the 250 marks and 3-hour duration. So these are the nature of anatomy can be possible in the paper 1. So this means in every subject, minimum 2 questions we can expect from the ecology till the end of the package of practices for the agronomic crops here. This means the UPSC, so we said there are the 2 papers here. So in the paper 1, so it carries totally 250 marks and 3-hour durations we have. In the paper 1, we are having the 2 sections, section A and section B we have. Section A and section B we have. And in the section A, we are having the question number 1, and here we are having the question number 5. Within the question number 1, we are having the 5 questions. Question number A, B, C, D, E. Here also we are having the 5 questions. The series of the A, B, C, D, and E. Right? This means each question carry 10 marks here. Each question carry 10 marks. Each question carry 10 marks. So for the 10 marks question in the UPSC, we are having the 2-page limit. Right? 2 pages limit will be there. Within the 2 pages, we need to explain the creative presentation. We need to explain the creative presentation by considering the various parameters here. Then we are having the question number 2. There we are having the 3 questions. Question number A, B, C, and question number 3. Again, we are having the 3 questions A, B, C, and question number 4. Again, we are having the 3 questions A, B, and C. And the question number 6. We are having the A, B, and C. And in the question number 7, again we are having the 3 questions A, B, C. And question number 8, we are having the A, B, C. In the paper 1, that's been totally we are having the 8 questions. We are having the 8 questions in the paper 1 or paper 2. Totally 8 questions will be there either in the paper 1 or paper 2. Out of the 8 questions, we need to attempt only 5 questions. We need to attempt only 5 questions out of the only 3 pages, but in other optional they're giving the 4 pages. So they're rotating every year from the one optional to the another optional. But since from the last 5 to 6 years, right, we're getting the 3 pages for all the markers for the 15 and 20 marks, and for the 10 marks we're getting the 2-page limit for the question number 1 and 5. This means out of the 8 questions we need to attempt only 5 questions. Among the 5, question number 1 and 5 are compulsory in nature, and remaining 3 you need to choose either from the section A or section B. Okay. Apart from that, in the paper 2, again we are having the 250 marks and the 3-hour durations we have. And in the paper 2, in the UPSC, basically we are having the syllabus we called as, one is the genetics, fundamentals of the genetics. Another is the principles of the plant breeding. Then we are having the syllabus of the plant biotechnology. Then we are having the syllabus of the molecular breeding. Then we are having the biostatistics. Then we are having the syllabus we called as seed technology. Then we are having the syllabus we called as crop physiology. Then we are having the syllabus of entomology. Then we are having the syllabus we called as plant pathology. Then horticulture syllabus we have. Within the horticulture again, right? So we are having the various subjects we called as, one is the pomology. Pomology matlab study of the fruits, right? Pomology matlab study of the fruits in India. Another is the valericulture. Study of the vegetable productions in India. Then another is the post harvest technology. The post harvest technology matlab processing of the fruits and vegetables we have. Another is the ornamental horticulture. And another is where we are having the plantation agriculture. Then apart from that, we are having the last syllabus we call as general agriculture or food and nutrition. Or sometimes we say it is a food and nutrition. See, the paper 2, these are the basic subjects here, right? One is the genetics. So in the genetics, basically we are having the syllabus we called as the plant kind of the plant cell and its structure and its function. So within the plant cell we are having the word we called as cell cycle. Within the cell cycle again we are having the 2 phases of the cell cycle. One is the interphase followed by the mitotic cell division can be possible. So in the case of the cell cycle, approximately it takes minimum 31 hours to complete the one cell cycle in the case of the Vicia paba species. So Vicia paba is one of the legume plant. It is experimentally proved that, right, approximately takes 31 hours to complete the one cell cycle from the interphase till the end of the mitotic cell division. That is the one process we have in the cell cycle. It is one is the interphase followed by the mitotic cell division. Apart from that, within the plant cell, right, we are having the various organelles we call as the cell wall, cell membrane. We are having the chloroplast, we are having the mitochondria, protoplasma. Then we are having the Golgi bodies and their functions. So these are the things we'll be discussing in the case of the plant cell. Then apart from that, we will be discussing how the plant cell is different with the animal cell. Then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as mutation. So in the mutation is the more of the certain heritable changes. It is the more of the certain heritable changes in the given DNA sequence. Whenever the organism is exposing to the different kind of the agent over the period, there is a heritable changes in the DNA sequence can be possible. So within the mutation, again we are having the different type of the mutation. Some are the spontaneous based mutation, some are the induced mutation. Sometimes it can be macro mutation, sometimes it can be micro mutation, sometimes it can be lethal or non-lethal, sometimes it can be backward mutation, sometimes it can be forward mutation, sometimes it can be sexual or asexual mutation also can be possible. So mutation, it means it is the more of certain heritable changes. Certain heritable changes in the DNA sequence can be called as mutation. So according to the mutation, again we have made some improved varieties in the agriculture. Then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as cytoplasmic inheritance. In the cytoplasmic inheritance, right? So inheritance of the cytoplasmic genes, inheritance of the cytoplasmic gene is going to take place from the mother to the progeny, is going to take place from the mother to the progeny. So cytoplasmic inheritance also is the one of the theory in the case of theory of the inheritance, right? In the theory of the inheritance, cytoplasmic inheritance also is one of the example. So in the case of the, apart from the cytoplasmic inheritance, we are having the what we call as Mendel law. Within the Mendel law, again we are having the some are the, see, the basic objective of the Mendel is to understand the how the characters are inherited from the one generation to the another generation. Right? So study of the inheritance is the basic goal of the Mendel law. So there we have selected the 7 characters between the tall variety and dark variety. Within the Mendel law, again we are having the Mendel first law and Mendel second law, and law of the segregation and law of the paired factors can be possible, right? Apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as genetic linkage, right? In the linkage, there is a group of the characters which are inherited without crossing over from the one generation to the another generation. There we are having the complete linkage. Sometimes it can be incomplete linkage can be possible. Then we are having the chromosomal crossover. Then we are having the syllabus we called as chromosomal aberration, right? Aberration means some kind of the deviation from the normal structure of the chromosome can be called as chromosomal aberration. So aberration can be possible either with respect to the structure of the chromosome or number of the chromosome also can be possible. With respect to the number, we are having the word we called as hyperploidy. Hyper matlab addition of the genes. Another is the hypoploidy, right? Hyper matlab loss of the genes. So we are having the both the possibility in the case of the numerical aberration. So that's mean aberration in the chromosome can be possible with respect to the structure or number of the chromosome. So what according to the such aberration also, right, especially in the agriculture, right, we have improved, we have made the some kind of the improved varieties in the agriculture cities. Okay, then apart from that, right, we're having the syllabus we called as the plant breeding. See, the basic objective of the plant breeding is to produce the improved characters, then the existing variety, So in order to make the improved varieties, we are using the different kind of the breeding methods. Some are the conventional breeding methods, some are the modern breeding methods, some are the molecular breeding methods, right? With the help of this breeding method, we are making the variation. We are making the variation in the given biological population. According to the development of the new allele and new character can be possible. According to the such character, improved varieties in the different crops are developed. So especially in the plant breeding, we are having discussions on the mass selection, pure line selection, backcross method. Then we are having the synthetic method, composite method, single seed descent method, male sterility, self incompatibility. Based on this mechanism and method, there is improved characters in the agriculture can be possible. That is the role we have from the breeding for the achieving the food security for the growing population. Then having the syllabus we called as plant biotechnology, there we will be discussing the plant tissue culture, right? So various type of the plant tissue culture. Another is the genetic engineering. Then apart from that, see, we are having the another syllabus we called as molecular breeding. So in the UPSC, we don't have any syllabus of the molecular breeding, but indirectly because at presently what are the topics we have in the research paper, right? So we used to get very good number of the questions, especially in the case of the molecular breeding. We are having some syllabus we called as somatic hybridization, right? The somatic hybridization, it means irrespective of the any plant species, hybridization can be possible. That is the one beauty thing we have in the case of the somatic hybridization. For example, we are having the word we called as potato and tomato. Potato and tomato both are different species in the given family. According to that, we have developed the F1 progeny that we called as pomato. So pomato is the one of the somatic hybrid. That is the one achievements we have. Another is the brinjal. Another is the potato. We got the F1 progeny in the sense of the brimato. Should be tomato. So we got the, we say brimato. See, the case of the somatic hybridization, irrespective of the any species, the hybridization can be possible in the somatic hybrid. So within the somatic hybrid, again we are having some are the intergeneric hybridization, some are the interspecific hybridization, some are the interfamily, some are the symmetric hybrid, some are the asymmetric hybrid, some are the hybrids can be possible. Then apart from that, we will be discussing in the molecular breeding, we are having syllabus we called as somoclonal variation, embryo rescue technique, then production of the applied plants and role of the intellectual property rights in protecting the new variety. So and gene mapping. So and these are the various syllabus we have in the case of the molecular breeding. It is then apart from that we're having the syllabus we called as biostatistics. See, here we are applying all the statistical techniques. We are applying all the statistical technique in the case of the biological system. In the case of the biological system, statistical techniques matlab we are having one is the correlation, regression techniques, chi-square test, right? So these are the techniques are applied in the biological system to make the solution for the biological problems is called as biostatistics. Here we can expect the one question indirectly in the case of the biostatistics. Okay, then we're having the syllabus we called as seed technology. So our basic objective in the seed technology is to make the scientific production of the quality seed, right? To improve the quality seed, right? So with the help of the scientific method we called as genetic principle. Another is the agronomic methods. With the help of the genetic methods and agronomic methods, right? Scientifically, as much as possible, we are increasing the purity of the given seed lot. That is the major goal we have in the case of the seed technology. Because whatever the seed we are giving to the farmers, it should be genetically pure in nature. Genetically the pure in nature. That is the reason, as much as possible, we are using the genetic principle and agronomic principle in the scientific manner to make the quality seed that is should be available to the farmer city. Then apart from that, we are having syllabus we called as the seed processing, seed storage, seed treatment, right? Seed certification, seed marketing. These are the some nature of the syllabus we have in the seed technology. Then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as crop physiology. Again in the crop physiology, again we are having one is the advanced part, another is the basic part. In the advanced part, we are having the some topics like stress physiology, vulnerizations in India, and plant growth hormones, right? Seed germination, seed viability estimation, another is the seed dormancy. Apart from that, in the basic part, we are having some photosynthesis in the plant, then we are having the respirations in the plants, right? Then we are having the water absorption, nutrient absorption and translocation process, and plant enzymes, right? These are the basic syllabus we have in the case of the crop physiology. Then apart from that, in the plant protection, we are having the syllabus we called as entomology. Entomology means study of the insect pest in the agriculture. So there our basic objective is to keep the population of the pest well below the economic threshold level with the help of the integrated pest management techniques. It is with the help of the IPM techniques, we are keeping the population as much as possible well below the ETL. That is the basic objectives we have in the IPM. Then apart from that, we are having the syllabus we called as plant pathology. In the plant pathology, we will be discussing, right, all the fungal disease. All the fungal disease matlab we are having the some are the downy mildew, some are the powdery mildew, some are the anthracnose, some are the rust, some are the smut, some are the leaf blight, some are the wilt, rot, right? And some are the ergot disease. So these are the range of the disease we have in the case of the fungal disease. Especially fungal diseases are quite common in the Indian climatic condition. Then apart from that, we will be discussing important viral disease. Viral disease matlab basically we are having the mottling of the leaves, rolling of the leaves, little leaf, mosaic symptom are the basic symptoms we are in the case of the viral. Apart from that, some are the bacteria, some are the post-harvest disease. So these are the some disease and along with the nematological disease. So these are the few things we'll be discussing in the case of the plant pathology. Then in the case of the horticulture, there we are having the syllabus we called as pomology. Pomology matlab study of the fruits cultivations in India. Another is the valericulture. Valericulture matlab study of the vegetables. Then we are having the post-harvest technology. Sometimes the post-harvest technology is also called as processing of the fruits and vegetable, right? With the help of the processing, we are converting the raw produce. We are converting the raw produce into the semi-finished or finished form. For example, making the right. We are having the example we called as mango into juice. Then we are having the jam making, jelly making, nectar making, papaya nectar making, right? Like that, there are the different kind of the finished products are made with the help of the processing function in the case of the post-harvest technology. Then apart from that, we are having the ornamental horticulture. In the ornamental horticulture, basically we will be discussing the gardening system, landscaping, and important methods for the lawn making. Then apart from that, we are having the discussions on the aromatic plants, some are the medicinal plants. Then apart from that, we will be discussing the garden types. Garden types, some are the formal style, some are the informal style. So within the formal and informal, basically we are having example we called as the Japanese garden, another is the English garden. And in the case of the formal garden, we are having the Mughal garden, Persian garden, and French garden are the best example for the formal style, right? So formal matlab they are having some geometric adjustment in the lawn development. So that is the rules and regulations are taken in the case of the formal but not in the informal garden. So these are the basic structure we have in the case of the ornamental horticulture. Another one we are having the plantation agriculture. Then apart from that, in the paper in the last unit, we are having the food and nutrition in the sense of the general agriculture. There we will be discussing the what we call as food security, food production and consumption trends in India. Apart from that, we will be discussing the poverty situations in the rural as well as in the urban area. Then we will be having discussions on the role of the public distribution system and TPDS. Then apart from that, we will be discussing the national food policies and international food policies. Apart from that, we will be discussing the role of the globalizations in the Indian agriculture. See, these are the basic nature of the anatomy we have in the case of the paper 2 from the genetics till the end of the food and nutrition. Again, here also we are having the 250 marks, and for the 3 word duration it is. Okay, so